Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time here on ON AM and FM. My name is Joe Callahan. That's Dave Richards over there.
Who cares about what your name is?
Hi there, Dave.
What's my name? That's what I want to know.
That's Mud over there.
I might have to sign it sometime.
That's Mud over there. Anyway, we're going to be joined by Meg Rigo to talk about Levitt Amp. She's going to be in around 8:15 via the phone. And Rich Lane's going to join us around 8:30. I mentioned earlier that Nick Gassy was going to be here. And Dave, I was looking at the wrong week. Nick's going to join us next Friday.
All righty then.
So we're all set there. So Nick Gassy from the St. John Ukrainian Orthodox Church will join us.
Their big food festival's coming up a week from tomorrow.
That's right. So we'll have
make your plans now. I'm going to be there.
We'll have Nick with us next Friday.
I go there and I do my my recordings and then I make sure I leave with a big basket of food.
This is a segment of the Coffee Ann program
nice
sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. What do you see in your inbox, Dave, from the Chamber?
I see something called The Road. That's RORHODE to
clever.
Prosperity. What a clever play on words from Governor Dan McKee. And he sent it out to all the chamber members. And he's put in links to Rhode Island Road to Prosperity Business Survey. And he's looking to have businesses across the state fill out this survey so they can get some input and consider what you're thinking when they are making decisions. And I think that's a pretty fine idea. Usually they don't even ask. They just figure, well, what do our friends want us to do? And that sort of thing like that. But
what are they doing in Massachusetts? Okay, let's do that.
That happens sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah. And then, of course, I also have in my inbox the list. And this being August, next month, things really get into high gear, as you know, when we are taking care of, after Labor Day, the world comes alive again. Featuring the Providence College men's basketball coach Kim English, its Lessons in Leadership Luncheon, coming up on September the 12th. From 11:30 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon, it'll be at Providence College. If you had gotten this email in your box, it means that you're a member, and you could have just clicked this nice little blue little box over here and registered, just like that. Know anybody who wants to go, Joe?
I'm sure there's a lot of people like to go see, listen to what Kim English has to say, what he's going to talk about. Sure.
Yeah. And then there's the executive golf outing on September 17th. Eggs and Issues Breakfast on October 9th. October 17th, Bold and Business Breakfast. November 6th, Welcome Wednesday Networking resumes with a nice little coffee hour from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. Nice thing about the Chamber of Commerce, of course, is that whenever you have a chamber event early in the morning during Coffee Ann, you always have dispensation from us because we're chamber members and we understand. Now, we can't go ourselves, but because we have to stay back and work.
And the court's not long enough.
But the listeners all get dispensation. Of course, you do have to make it up like a Rotary meeting later on by catching one of our convenient replays or going to the website. And then, of course, December 3rd, looking way ahead.
Wow.
For those of you who have your calendars out, at Bally's Twin River Casino in Lincoln, it's the Holiday Open House.
Oh, the Christmas thing.
That is an event not to be missed. Seriously. And that's what's going on at the Chamber.
All right there, Dave. Very good. On the national front, a couple of things we wanted to pass along. Game show host extraordinaire Peter Marshall passed away.
He was smooth.
Yes. And
good song and dance man, too.
Yep. And basically, he was the straight guy.
Yeah.
On the show with that, let all the comedians, all the stars. Cause you used to say that. Hello, stars.
Yes. Hello, stars.
Peter Marshall was 98 years old.
No kidding.
Good long life there for Peter Marshall. The other person that passed away yesterday.
I saw recently on. There was something on. Denise was watching it on one of the channels that has game shows on it. An amalgam of the Hollywood Squares and Match Game. It was called the Hollywood Squares Match Game Hour.
I don't remember them ever doing that.
One of the squares was occupied by Gene Rayburn, who came out and did a
And then
bonus
hosted?
round with our winner later on to get them more money,
Oh, all right.
a la match game.
I see.
And you had to
Okay.
match the stars.
Yeah. Wow.
And he was one of the squares that you had to match
Yeah.
during the course of the game to get that far.
Interesting.
And
interesting
guess who was doing the Peter Marshall?
premise. I don't know.
Now, I forget what the actor's real name is, but Bowser.
Oh, it's John something.
John-
It's John Bauman or something like that.
Yeah, John Bauman, something
Yeah.
like that, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's right. He did take over for Hollywood Squares there for a
and
little while.
and you know something? He cleaned up really good.
Yeah, he's not the character.
He didn't do
He's
he
he's
didn't do the
himself.
greasier
Yeah.
character of Bowser for that, but he cleaned up pretty good and he did a credible job on it.
Okay. Also on the national front, you know who passed away yesterday?
No.
His name is Jack Russell.
Oh, I heard of that.
Now, Jack was 63.
Poor
if
Jack.
if you don't remember who Jack Russell
I
was,
don't, but I'm still
No.
very sympathetic.
you'll know in a second here. Jack Russell was the lead
He was
singer.
a terrier, right?
Lead singer for the heavy metal band Great White.
Oh,
And they were the band on stage
That's
at
where
the
I knew
station
that name
nightclub
from.
Fire, and it was their pyrotechnics that set off the fireproofing, which
That
started
put
the fire.
many restaurants and places of assembly out of business.
Yeah, because now you had to smoke detectors.
So
So,
it's not that; it's the fire codes just
yeah.
were brutalized. It was an
So,
overreaction.
He never played in Rhode Island again until
No.
the year 2015.
Right,
Because one of the band members died in that fire.
right.
And so they basically split. And there was Great White.
He became a professional alcoholic and
no,
drug
he
user.
might have been that already, but
Yeah.
it became Great White and then Jack
Jack Russell's.
Russell's Great White.
Right.
Kind of like the Platters and then Herb Reed
And the Platters,
So
right.
then there were two groups. So Jack doesn't play in Rhode Island again and that happened in 2003.
Yeah.
He doesn't play in Rhode Island again until 2015.
Right.
Spent a long time away.
Dozen years.
Yeah, and then never came back after that. I think he said he had a heart attack. And he was 63 years old.
He had a plethora of health issues
yes, he
ever
did.
since.
All right, so it's just when you hear that name, boy, like Dave said, oh, that Jack Russell, boy, that sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
right.
I know. How do I
Yeah.
know that person?
Yeah, right.
This is who he is. All right. Well,
Wasn't a fan of the group, so it
Yeah.
didn't really stick.
so how about this for a play on words, Dave? Tim Waltz is into Rhode Island yesterday. I've been
Uh-huh.
waiting all day to say that.
That's right.
And I thought he was coming last night. He showed up
No.
sometime in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, right.
He was up in Boston for most of the day.
He wanted to sleep on Long Island last
yeah,
night,
cruises down 95 or however they got there.
right?
And maybe they went down 24. And that would have made more sense. Go down
From
20,
Boston?
From Boston, go down 24.
Could have been.
And come in through Portsmouth.
No
and
need to take an
Middletown.
airplane.
No, and then into Newport to head over to Salve Regina to greet the throngs of people that were there. I don't know if you really call it a throng, but hey, they said they raised $650,000,
Which is
for the Democratic
$150,000 more than what their target was.
Party. Yeah, so the governor was there. Dan McKee, our two senators were there. Sheldon Whitehouse and Jack Reed. I'm going to make an assumption that Gabe Amo and Seth Magaziner were there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Earlier that was announced that they were
They
going
were
to be there.
there.
Too,
Okay,
yeah.
so there's 5 people that showed up. So
Mm-hmm.
and they say it was a sellout, but they won't say you how many people were there. But and the other thing they didn't do is they didn't let any reporters' cameras or microphones into the
Exactly.
auditorium where Tim Waltz was speaking. Brian Crandall from Channel 10, he was allowed to go in and observe
Right.
and take mental notes of what came down. But he probably had a piece of paper. He probably had his, the notebook, the reporter's pad, scribbling things down as fast as he could as Tim Waltz was speaking. But the Waltz only spoke he made a 15-minute speech.
Right.
He's probably there for a little longer than that. Obviously, you got to come in and shake hands with everybody that made it there.
Press the flesh.
Well, if you paid $1,000 to be there,
You'd wanna shake
want a
his hand.
handshake out of this deal.
That's right.
And if you wanted
Handshake and a kiss, at least.
if you wanted, if you paid more, you probably wanted a few words.
Got a hug.
Get a hug out of him. That's right. So that's what happened in Newport yesterday. When he was done in Newport, it was back into I don't know how they got him out of there, but back into his limo, and then it was off to Long Island.
A helicopter would have done well.
Probably because he would have had to go all the way through Connecticut, and then
Get on the ferry.
and then get into New York City, and then come back. if you stayed on the.
No, they would have taken the
Well,
ferry into London. Yeah.
Well, yes, that would have been the easy thing to do.
right.
But if they didn't do
But
that,
yeah,
they would have
that
gone
would
the
have
long
been,
way.
that wouldn't have been a continuum.
Yeah.
Can you imagine all the limousines getting onto the ferry, taking up all the extra space?
I don't think there's enough. There's maybe room for two.
People cursing them out.
Yeah, I always take this ferry. Now I can't.
'Cause that's how the ONTV truck got here. We bought it
By
in Long
ferry?
Island from a private
Oh, okay.
party,
Yeah.
and the ONTV truck. I have pictures of it
Are
on
people cursing you out?
on the ferry. Well, actually, we were put in a different place because it was a truck.
Yeah.
But drove right onto the ferry, parked it there. I got a picture of it. It was on the front end. You could see where we were going. So I took a picture of the truck heading to the mainland.
It was steering, huh?
in
Okay.
Connecticut. And then we drove it up to Woonsocket from there. Yeah. So that's how we got the ONTV truck back then. That ferry's not bad, but none of the vending machines work. So
Oh, that's too bad.
yeah.
So with the VP candidate at Salve Regina in Newport yesterday, the
Controversy.
the Diocese of Providence. It just
Wait a
says, It
minute.
just says they're reacting. Doesn't say they're unhappy. Doesn't say they're happy. They say they're just reacting.
Thanks for the dough.
Well, thank you. But they're saying, we're supposed to be non-political.
Right.
So we shouldn't be renting this out to political candidates. And but the college says, well, they paid the regular
They
rent,
paid full price.
full price, and it's
No deals.
It's a private event, and we do this all the time.
Weddings,
thing.
receptions, stuff like that.
So it wasn't open. It wasn't an open to the public kind of thing. It was
No.
a private event, invitation only kind of thing. So that's what the university is saying. So it's probably a private matter between the college and the Diocese of Providence. So there you go. They'll hash it out amongst themselves.
Sure.
So
Now don't do that again. And how much did you make?
Yeah, how much do you charge? Have you reached out to Donald Trump and his group?
Yeah, all right. Well, it's
maybe we get Vance to come.
be a
Maybe
very,
spend
very
15 minutes.
interesting day in the world when Mr. Trump comes to Rhode Island. That's not going to happen.
No, that's what I said. Can we get Mr. Vance to come?
Right.
And he can.
We
he can
didn't
pull
get
up
the
thing,
presidential candidate to come. We
No.
got the vice presidential candidate to come.
That's right. All right. So and down in Johnston, quick, close the door. The horses have escaped the barn, Dave. Now we're
Talking
gonna
about the cameras?
now we're gonna put up cameras, and now we're gonna have
Well, they
increased
have
security.
cameras. They have cameras there.
Oh, do they?
They just didn't have as many as they're going
They
to
needed-
have.
oh, okay. There was an attempted abduction, according to the child. The man said
That was last week, last Friday.
Yeah, he poured some kind of liquid from a bottle into cloth and told her to come here. And the 8-year-old, smart
And she
girl,
said, nope.
no, called for help. And then the suspect took off. I thought they caught this guy.
No.
I'm mistaken. He
Yes.
is still on the loose.
They don't have a picture of him.
Okay.
They don't
Yeah,
have a picture of him.
That's too bad. He
That's
says
why they want to put the cameras in. So they would
security
be.
cameras will act as a deterrent
Right.
to help to identify other suspicious activity taking place at that park. I don't have the name of the park here in the Johnston Memorial. There it is. I think there's probably only one in that town, but so
Well,
that-
I don't
that-
know.
that- I don't know either.
Johnston
so
Memorial Park.
so that's where it was. So they're gonna take care of that. I guess the mayor went to his town council and said, "This is what we need. We're having issues at the park."
Right. Well, the
It's
cops
okay.
probably asked them, They said, listen, we'd like to follow up on this, but we don't have a photograph.
That's right. So, and
So,
I guess we
you
don't have
know,
a car description either.
Wouldn't it
or
be
anything
great
like
if we
that?
had more cameras in the park? Can you do that for us, Mayor?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a responsible thing to ask the executive. And
Yeah.
if he thinks he can shake out a couple of shekels to do it,
Yep.
then they'll put more cameras in.
Okay.
And the problem, of course, is like this. Everybody like to have cameras everywhere. Right. Well, not everybody, but I mean,
Mhm.
right. People say, "Oh, there's cameras everywhere anyway," but so a few more
I
cameras
know.
don't
We,
make
always,
any
we
difference.
always say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But cameras are cameras. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't get it. But the whole thing is the maintenance.
Yeah.
That's where the cost
That's
really
where the money
comes in.
is.
Oh, there should be a traffic light right there. What does a traffic light cost? $75,000. All right, put one in. We'll pay for it. And then you got to change the light bulbs, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to pay for the electricity and maintenance on the timers, and it's a big responsibility going forward. So it's not just like, oh, just go buy a car. I can afford the car, but then you got to do the taxes and the
Gas,
insurance and the gas and the right.
I did mention that the Diocese of Providence is reacting to Salve Regina's University of
did.
Renting. In the story, it does says the diocese says it was surprised and disappointed. So they're not happy about the whole thing of renting out to a political candidate. So there.
Okay.
All right, we're going to take a first break here in the Coffee
Pretty
Hand program.
place.
Yes,
Pretty
it
place
is.
to go.
And this segment of Coffee Hand's been
Got a
sponsored
big place
by,
for a helicopter to land. Big piece of grand.
by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Dave, give us a little message about the chamber.
334-1000 is the telephone number. Call 334-1000 after 9 o'clock this morning and find out how the chamber can work for you.
Thanks, Dave. More of Coffee Hand's coming up, and we're going to talk about Levitt Amp right after these messages.
Wow! Can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores. ON Radio. Alrighty, Coffee and on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan with Dave Richards and
The
joining us
Megster is here.
via the phone to talk about the Levitt Amp Woonsocket Music Series tonight, week number 9. Meg Rigo. Good morning to you there, Meg.
Good morning. Happy Levitt Friday.
Happy Levitt Friday.
And it
is
certainly
right.
is. We have a good forecast for you today, kid.
Now, this is how smart Meg is, Dave, because
Yeah.
she lives in Newport.
Right.
And she saw this craziness that was coming.
She used to live in Woonsocket.
I know.
But she went
said,
to Newport
I'm getting out of this.
for a visit, and then
I'm
said,
getting off
you know,
this
this
island.
ain't bad.
So you got off the island and you went to Matunic.
I did. You know, you just stay close to the ocean and everything will be fine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you observed the craziness from afar, right?
Exactly.
Talking
Exactly.
about
The
the-
news told me everything I needed to know.
All right.
There you go.
But the other stuff that we didn't have, I was just talking with Meg a little bit before we started talking on the air. There was gridlock and there were protests down there at Salve
course.
with the VP candidate. Correct?
Professional protesters, they go everywhere. You know, if you want to see the world, be a professional protester. They'll send you anywhere.
Were any of your friends stuck in traffic, Meg?
I had some friends stuck in traffic. I definitely did. But outside of that, I mean, that's just summertime. So
Well, that's true.
we're all also professionals at getting stuck in traffic here when you're anywhere near the ocean in Rhode Island or by Route 1.
All right.
So we've got this.
It's
Can
week
handle it.
number 9 for 11 Amp Woonsocket Music Series. Things are winding down. Tonight, we got the Blues on stage with the Philip Michael Scales group. Where are they out of, Meg?
He has spent time in many different places. Right now, he's in the Nashville region, but he's definitely been around. First saw him perform actually on the Ellen DeGeneres show. It's like
Oh,
when I
wow.
first heard his name or saw him
Mhm.
out and about. He's toured, I mean, I guess another way to see the world would also be to be a musician.
Yeah.
He's toured with Peb Mo and various other artists, but that was the biggest name he recently got off stage with. And now we get to see him right here in Woonsocket, which is kind of cool.
How many members are in the band?
There are 4 of them.
4. Okay, very good.
4 piece act.
Cool. And the opening act tonight?
Tonight, we're opening up with a local blues band. So it's Sweet Pea Blues Band, which is led by Sweet Pea Guitar, also known as Paul Alexander Williams. He's based out of Providence.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul has been in the music scene. He's been doing music stuff since he was 15, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
And he's currently the music coordinator for the Pawtucket Arts Collaborative. And he's in the Rhode Island Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society. He's on their board. So in addition to knowing how to play the blues, he apparently has some knowledge about it. Cool.
That sounds fantastic. So it should be a great time of back-to-back blues artists at the at River Island Art Park tonight. It all begins at 6 p.m.
Yeah, what are we eating tonight, Meg?
Yeah, what do we got
I
for
wanna
food
know, are the hot
trucks?
dogs coming in tonight?
Sure, we definitely have hot dogs. Buns Up will be back.
Ooh.
So our friends from
and you
Buns
have your
Up
choice of
there,
all kinds of. You can get kielbasa, and Central Falls kielbasa, by the way. You can get the big hot dogs, the soggy natural casing hot dogs. You can get the skinless for the kiddies, and also he usually does grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh, the kids like that
And
too.
and yeah, right. So he has various different things there, depending on what the crowd likes. A real crowd pleaser, and that Buns Up. He works very, very hard to make sure people have a good time and come by once again.
Rich Lane has joined us at the coffee and table. Good morning to you there, Rich.
Morning,
What
Meg.
do you know?
Have you taken part in Buns
Morning,
Up?
Rick.
I've been going down there with my granddaughter. I think that's like the fifth
Every week he's
Friday in a row that we're going to be down there, and she's getting a musical education thanks to the Levitt Amp series.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yes, we love it.
There's more to music than Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, there is, and she enjoyed C.J. Chenier that was there. She enjoyed Tartan Terrors. I think has been their favorite so far, Meg.
All right. Well, cool. Well, and they'll be down there tonight for the blues.
Absolutely. I was listening to Philip Michael Scales a little bit last night on YouTube, and my God, what a talent! You're bringing in some great
You know
people
what
there,
he's doing,
Meg.
right?
Pardon?
Oh, thank you, Rich.
Yeah.
We love that vote of encouragement. I'll take it.
Oh God, yeah, they're just and like I said, the talent you're bringing in that band last week, Planta Libre, I felt so bad for them. But they really banged it out for the amount of time in between the rain.
All right, Dave.
I know, and they're true professionals to
Oh,
be
that's
able
great.
to pull that off too.
Dave's
Sorry,
got-
Joe, we got interrupted with food. We also have
Oh, yeah.
Methods of a Mad Woman.
Okay.
They
Oh,
were
she was there last
phenomenal.
week. Really great.
She was.
I got
She
it.
came through in the clinch. A lot of people had canceled because they thought it was going to rain, which then it did. But Methods of a Mad Woman showed up, and she definitely had quite the lines, and
And
I'm
it was
sure she was rewarded for doing that.
it was kismet, because she wasn't originally going to come, but the way I got the story was where she was going to go was going to cancel. She said, "Well, I got to work. I wonder what's going on over at Levitt." So she made some phone calls and a quick little discussion. They said, "Yeah, come on up." Turned out she was the one that did all the business. I'm telling you, I didn't eat until 8:15 because I can't just go over there and stand there for 20, 30 minutes because I got to do the broadcast, right? But seriously, I didn't eat till 8:15 was when I got my food. And guess what? They were playing their last song at that point. So that last week was pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm so glad that she'd be back.
All right. And now Dave has got pulled up some
And that's,
music.
by the way, for people who care, that's Bob Egan's granddaughter.
All right.
Bob Egan, well known in town, ran the Shamrock Cafe forever. Just recently passed away, and is at 95, I think, years old. And that's Bob Egan's granddaughter.
So let's hear a little music, Dave, from
Yeah.
the Philip Michael Scales group and their blues that you'll hear tonight at 11 Amp.
Knocking at the door on what I knew for sure. Blew up in my face. Woke up on the floor. Couldn't take no more. My darkest day. But I can't lose sleep on what I cannot change.
Sounding good there, Dave. Very good. Philip Michael Scales. You like it, Meg?
I love it. It's going to be great.
All right, fantastic.
That's Levitt, dear.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
Levitt. I love the Levitt. Okay, very good. All right, so Cyril's will be down there once again for the on-site bar. There'll also be kids' activities down there. Has the Bubble Lady been making it to every show?
Oh, yeah. She was there last week,
Good.
too.
All right, good for her. And so the kids will always love that.
Merci.
So bring your favorite
Every
lawn
day's a
chair
good day for
and-
Bubbles, she says.
All right, and or favorite blanket, and sit out and have a good time. And the weather's going to be good tonight, Meg. I mean, yeah, it's going to be partly cloudy and the low is 64, but that whole nothing like last night's
way
rain.
late. That's way late.
Yeah.
I
So
like when the recommendation is to bring a sweater and not an umbrella. So
Yeah.
bring a sweater
Right.
and we'll see you in the park. It'll be great.
all right, we'll have it for you here on ON Radio as well, 1240 AM, 99.5 FM, and we do the streaming on our website and our YouTube and our social media as
The
well.
ON TV truck will be there.
Excellent. So, all right, Meg, enjoy the Philip Michael Scales group, and then we'll talk again next week for the final Levitt amp of 2024.
I was thinking that maybe in December or January we could on Friday nights do Hot Stove Levitt and play back the concerts.
concerts?
What do you think of that?
Nothing wrong with that.
Sounds fun to me.
You like it,
You
Meg?
could
Yeah.
watch them from the warmth and joy of your living room.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, there's an idea. All right, Meg. Thanks for joining us again on this Friday. We'll talk again in a week.
Thanks. Have a great day. See everyone in the park.
See you in the park.
See
Thanks,
ya.
Meg. Take care. And there goes Meg Rigo from Neighborworks, Blackstone River Valley, and part of the whole bringing Levitt amp to us here in the city of Woonsocket. All right, before we have to take another break here on the Coffee and program, Rich, they caught a great white shark
Did they?
off Narragansett.
Cool.
A baby, basically, though.
Oh well.
It was a youngin.
on the day that Jack Russell of the Great White Group.
They're good, great.
Yeah.
I heard that on the way in, Dave. That was some
Yeah.
interesting radio.
I knew I recognized that name, but it's been so many years,
Yeah.
it didn't click.
But the shark was able to, I don't know if they were just trying to pick it up in a net or how they were trying to capture it, but it just said it shook itself free and said, arrivederci.
See you later.
It's,
I'm
it's
out.
one
go.
that, it's one that got away.
Yeah, it was. I hope someone took a picture.
Well, I imagine they did that because the American Shark Institute verified it was a great white species. And so it had to have had some physical, some photographic evidence in order to do that.
Okay. A note that was called in 766-1240 on a completely different topic. It just says
No, for something completely
different. There's a female-founded company that's going to teach 1 million women how to play poker.
That's nice.
And then it says there's a sucker born every minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe they'll teach them how to win.
Well, a lot of people like
If you only have a pair, you fold.
a lot of people like playing the games and
Yeah.
that game too. Nothing wrong with it as long as you keep it within bounds.
Yeah.
But you don't ever figure you're going to win. The house always wins.
Poker's different. You don't play against the house.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Everybody else is the rest of the world.
No, no, no,
everybody
no.
everybody
No, no.
else wins.
You're wrong again, Dave. the casino deals the cards. It's me, you, and Rich playing against each other, and not against the house. No, we're not the house.
I see they fooled you too, huh?
Rich, help me out here.
If
Who
I
fooled me?
if I work really hard and I take my $10 and I put it down over there and I bet against anything else, the chances are I'm going to lose the $10, and I worked for nothing. So that's my point of view. So anytime you're playing a game of chance,
Have you ever played this game?
yeah.
Okay. Do you go in
And I
thinking,
yawned and I never played it again.
So you went in and put down your $10 and said, "I'm going to lose,"
and we were playing for toothpicks.
and you still
But
lost.
you know, I work hard to buy my toothpicks.
All right, Dave. Let's play poker this night tonight.
No, because I know that. I mean, just it's not worth it to me. My curiosity for gambling is gone. I just really don't. I don't even do the lottery. I mean,
Do you play poker, Rich?
No, I mean my extent of gambling is like Keno. That's pretty
Well,
much
that's
it.
pretty easy.
all right. Well,
Yeah, I just
Tough,
like
to,
write
tough
down.
to win, easy to play is what I mean.
Yeah, I mean I don't. My wife enjoys going to the slot machines, and my wife's an extremely lucky person too. Believe it or not.
Well, that's
at
good,
the-
that's
at the
good.
slots. So
Okay.
yeah, but
I don't mind. I don't mind when we get discounts
when you-
on cruises because Denise plays in the the slot machine tournaments and stuff like
There
that.
you
'Cause
go.
she's
Yeah.
got nothing else to do,
Yeah.
and she likes to do that.
But when
I
you-
don't mind getting those discounts from them if they want to do that, but it's not because Dave ever played.
When you lose against the slot machine, that's losing against the house.
Yeah, that's the fine point. Anytime you gamble, you run the risk of losing.
Well,
That's a
yes,
true
that-
statement.
Whether it's a-
that part's true.
Whether it's
yeah,
another
okay.
person or it's the
Yeah, but the
company
other
that owns the brick and mortar, it doesn't make any difference.
The other
It's
person's
the house.
Not, no, it's not.
The opposition is always a house.
No, it's not. All right, time for the forecast. Weather forecast right now is being sponsored by KFC.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a high of 83 and a calm wind. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 64. Saturday's weather, partly sunny with a high of 82. Sunday, mostly cloudy and 80 degrees. Rain starts Sunday night, and on Monday, an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms all day, high of 77. Tuesday, partly sunny and 74. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 74. And on Thursday, mostly sunny and 77 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with the cloudy skies, we've got 66 degrees.
Watch while Dave tries to be hip. Here we go. The drip don't quit
Oh, come
on
on.
KFC's new saucy nugget lineup. The drip don't quit. What a slogan, huh?
Yeah.
Try Chipotle Ranch, Mango Habanera, Honey Garlic, Korean Barbecue, or Honey Barbecue. Get 10 pieces for $5.99 only at KFC's. And no Koreans were harmed in this commercial.
There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't get fooled again, Woonsocket. I'm John Ward, and I've been working for you and only you for 25 years now. 2 years ago, Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt was removed from office for good reason. She angrily came back with a team and tried to have the city spend way too much money buying a piece of land from her friend. This recent report proves it, and in shame, she had to quit. Now she wants her hand-picked mayor to stay in office while much of her team is leaving. Slow audits, overvalued properties, and now private information released. Have you had enough yet, Woonsocket? I know I have. I'm John Ward, and I'm running to be your mayor. There's no room for cronyism that keeps costing you money. This embarrassment must stop. Want to know more? Visit wardformayor.org. I'd appreciate your vote September the 10th. We're better than this.
Paid for Friends of John Ward. For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
We've unlocked the vaults, and we're replaying Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s. This week is from August 19th, 1978. That's when Andy Gibb found an everlasting love. Olivia Newton-John was hopelessly devoted to you. The Little River Band was reminiscing, and the Kinks lived a rock and roll fantasy. You'll hear those songs and all the top 40 hits from August 19th, 1978, right here on Casey Kasem's American Top 40, the 70s.
This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
All right, it's Coffee In here on ONA and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards and Rich Elaine from American Legion, Post 85 up there on River Street.
Yeah.
How are things at the Post?
Things are great.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what. I mean, you just got done talking to Meg about the Levitt amp
Yep.
tonight. Some great music there. And you want to know what? All this weekend over at the American Legion Post, we are going to have some traditional stuff going on for Woonsocket residents. Tomorrow, on Saturday, we're going to rock out, and I got to put my old man glasses on here. We're going to rock out for New Beginnings, which is Jean
Michon.
Jean Michon, right.
Yeah.
She runs New Beginnings. It's the soup kitchen here in Woonsocket, and she's going to have a beer and dynamite event down at American Legion Post 85 tomorrow afternoon. So come on down and support the New Beginnings. Jean has been feeding the homeless for years and has made thousands of meals for people. And they really could use some support. The beer and dynamite is $20. All you can eat dynamite and draft beer. So, like I said, for $20, how are you going to beat that? All you can eat and all you can drink. We have two great bands that are going to be playing. We got the Donnelly Road Band from 12:30 to 2:30, and then the School of Rock.
They're a blast.
They're a blast, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
yes,
great.
they are.
And they're going to be there from 3 to 5. We're going to have raffles, 50-50 drawing down there, and it all supports New Beginnings. So you're going to get your traditional beer and dynamite for $20, and you're going to get some great music and some good camaraderie and some good conversation. So come on down to the American Legion Post 85 tomorrow. Like I said, the band starts at 12:30, and they're going to go right around until 5 or 6 o'clock. So come on down and have yourself a good time.
All right.
Now on.
12:30.
Uh,
When does the band start?
the band starts at 12:30, and I believe.
I thought I heard you say 12:30.
Yeah, and I believe they got it posted tomorrow starting at 12.
Okay.
So, and the band starting at 12:30. But I'm sure the beer and dynamites will be flowing at noontime. So,
Love
come
beer
on
and
down
dynamites.
and come on down and enjoy yourself with that. And like I said, kind of a traditional. We got the Dynamites traditional in Woonsocket. Now you want to talk about another tradition that was in Woonsocket. You remember the Mardi Gras they used to have down here? Well, I've been announcing it for a couple of months, and it's finally right around the corner. And I looked at the weather report, and we're going to be just fine on Sunday, August 18th. We're going to start at noontime with our Cajun Fest. And we are going to have some unbelievable Cajun music down there. It's going to be the Cajun band out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I'm sorry, out of Rhode Island. Magnolia. Magnolia's been around for a good 30 years or so in Rhode Island. They've played all over the country at all these Cajun fests. You're getting some top-notch entertainment with Magnolia. And the flyers we've been putting out saying Magnolia is going to start their performance at 2. Well, I called them the other day, and we're going to back up their start time to 1 o'clock. And
that's
all
nice.
because, I looked at the weather a couple of days ago, of course, and saw that maybe had some showers, closer to 6 or 7, but that all kind of moved out, and it's going to be later. So, but still, they're going to be starting at 1 o'clock, Magnolia. They're still going to do their dance lessons during the first set. So if you don't know how to dance to Cajun music, Michelle, one of the band members, gets up and shows you a few simple steps. They showed me, and I can actually do them. And if I can do them, believe me, anyone can do them.
Sure.
Okay? So come on down and learn that. And I'll tell you what, once you learn those dance steps, you'll get up off of your seat. You'll dance to just about every song that Magnolia is going to do. Also, we're going to have 2 food trucks down there. We're going to have a Method of a Mad Woman, who was
From
just
Levitt?
yeah, from
gonna
Levitt,
be there
right?
tonight.
Yeah. She's going to be there with her food, and she's going to be doing Cajun style food for the Cajun Fest. She's going to be doing some gumbo.
She's very talented.
Yes, she's going to be doing gumbo and shrimp po' boy and jambalaya and some kind of, and I know we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, some kind of a pastry type of thing that Louisiana type of thing, but I don't even know how to pronounce it.
The vignettes.
Vignette. There you
Yeah.
go. Boy, Joe, you're pretty good, Joe.
If you watch enough Disney movies, you
Yeah,
catch up,
yeah,
you pick up
yeah.
on these things.
Yeah, and
And basically, vignettes are like fried dough.
okay,
With the powdered sugar on top. They make it it's not flat. It's puffed up.
okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So there you go.
So that's what Method of a Mad Woman. And I was told this morning that her truck is going to be there right around 11 o'clock setting up. We also have Nessa's Snack Shop, and Nessa's is going to be doing barbecue. So
Alright.
if you don't like the Cajun stuff, you can hit over to Nessa's. And I was also told there's going to be an ice cream truck there. Who's the ice cream truck? I don't know, but I was told that yesterday. So like I said, we're going to have food. We're going to have the outside beverages. We're going to have some unbelievable Cajun music. I don't know what else you need this weekend, but come on down and listen to Magnolia. And all I got to say about that is aye.
Well, make sure you try the vignettes.
I will.
Because
I
you might
will.
have to have 2 or 3. 'cause
Yep.
I understand they're
And
delicious.
just to go ahead to the follow to a week from tomorrow night, the following Saturday we're going to have Lifelong Obsession. Is the band. They do music from the 60s, classic rock from the 60s right up through the 90s.
Nice.
So that's a week from this Saturday. But as always, when you come down and listen to our music at Post 85, there is never a cover charge.
Right.
Never a cover charge. You come, you listen to some great music, and that's all free.
You can get a beverage. You can get some.
get a
food.
beverage, and
What
normally
time
we
do you
have
start serving
food.
the Dynamites tomorrow?
Pardon?
What time do you start?
The
serving
Dynamites, they said 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Tomorrow, so you get there at noon. I'm sure Jeannie will have everything going.
Yum yum yum.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Rich.
Yep.
Nicely done, as always. Other things going on, well, the Karen Reed supporters, they just keep on going up there in Massachusetts. Now they want, or they're demanding, that Norfolk County DA Michael Morrissey step down from his position. That's it. You've done enough damage, according to them. His office is prosecuting Reed, who's accused of killing her boyfriend, the Boston police officer John O'Keefe. The lead investigator of the case, who was employed by Michael Morrissey's office, was suspended on account of his misconduct while doing the investigating. So they want his boss gone now as well. No word on whether or not he's going to step down.
Where do you draw the line?
How far do you keep going up? Guess we can go.
Yeah,
I think
before
more
you know
Healers
it-
should go.
Yeah,
Let's give it to the governor.
If they get the attorney general, then they'll be looking for.
This is the district attorney.
District attorney.
Yeah.
Then they'll be looking for the
They
attorney
might want the
general.
attorney general.
then the governor, and they'll just keep going. It becomes a bloodlust after a while.
Yeah. But Morrissey's office, they still say we vow to retry this case in January.
No,
They haven't. The charges have not been dropped or thrown out. And we're gonna
you
keep
know
on
something,
moving forward.
and I'm not saying guilt or innocence, but if you thought you had such a good case, and here you go, you let your motor mouth just run. You know, the lead investigator, he has to say, you had to be cocky. You know, all you had to do is do your investigation. If you thought you had something solid, and just done your job professionally. But sometimes you think you're bigger than what you are, and this is what happens. It's that simple.
Yeah, I know, and that's what their whole contention is. Well, we don't want the police to look bad if that's what the case is, where another cop kills another cop. So we got to try to
Yeah.
push it off on someone else. That's what the supporters of Karen Reed are
Well,
saying. So-
you also don't want to lose sight of the fact that you've got family members of the deceased person.
Oh, yeah,
Regardless,
yeah.
regardless of what that person did in their lifetime for a profession. In this case, it was a police officer. But regardless of that, you've got people who've lost a brother,
Yeah.
son,
son.
like that. And those people are looking for some closure, finish up on this thing, and they've put their trust in the law enforcement professionals and the judicial system, and it appears they've been let down. So when you're looking at that and you're the district attorney and you say to yourself, geez, how do we let these people go without anything just by, just stopping here? We have to try again.
The family
see
has
if-
come out in full support of the DA still, and they said
Yeah.
they tell us that she's the one, so we're fully behind them.
Yeah.
So That's where things stand on that one. We have to take a break here in the Coffee and program, and time for a couple of message from the Valley Breeze newspaper, our sponsor of this segment of Coffee and. Dave's got the latest Valley Breeze in his hands.
I do. I have the Cumberland and Lincoln edition of the latest Valley Breeze in my hand right now, Joe. And we'll just tell you some of the news stories that are there. But right up on top, I don't know if you can see it on your screen. You people on radio will just have to take my word for it. We have Tegan Ricciarelli of Cumberland with a garden party at the Hearthside in Lincoln last Saturday. And the 8-year-old has her American doll Molly in her hands. Nice little picture, I think, right? Also, there's some news stories. Ethan Shorey has a story between Bernardo and Beaulieu in District 3 in the Cumberland elections coming up. The Lincoln Housing Authority is fighting food insecurity and food waste, a story from Sophia Barr. And bridge replacement plan calls for temporary Diamond Hill Road closures is the other story that Ethan's been working on. It'll give you the skinny on what's been going on there.
Oh, good.
In the
North Hill Road closure.
Yep. North Smithfield, Woonsocket, and Blackstone edition of the Valley Breeze. Big story here, along with Reverend Tierney. There in front of the St. James Episcopal Church in Woonsocket, posing in the atrium with one of the newly repaired windows. They can now open the windows in the church, which, because, that is, I believe that is the oldest house of worship in Woonsocket.
What, were they painted shut at one time?
Well,
or?
Over the years,
they
things
just
can go
stick.
wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Wear and tear, water can seep in, and then swell things, and then the next thing you know, there's rot, and you got to replace things, and well, it's just over the years. And I do believe that I was told one time from one of our historical people that St. James Episcopal Church on Hamlet Avenue is the longest still standing house of worship in Woonsocket. Second oldest is the mother church for the Roman Catholics, St. Charles, which is still standing. So anyway, so a nice story in there, and Corey Plant makes that story come to life, as he does the one about the mayoral candidates are weighing in on the aftermath of the Weissman report, which we all heard about. And then over in North Smithfield, Corey's got a story about the how come we can't get a full-size parking lot for the North Smithfield Joyce Athletic Complex. Got this beautiful turf stadium, and we spent the millions of dollars to build it and then to redo the turf and everything else. And
You're parking
you
on the
got a
street.
big problem with, yeah, right, because they don't want you parking on the road.
Yeah.
But where else are you going to put your car? So they want to they have a plan to make the parking lot bigger, but there's some sort of problem with the Department of Health regulations, the size of the parking lot, drinking water, and well, if you want to understand it better than I do, Corey Plant's story in the Valley Breeze will take care of you there. And in all your Valley Breezes this weekend, it's Insert Week. And we have your local business at your service, the At Your Service guide in the Valley Breeze for local businesses. And in there it shows you all the tradespeople, ads from all of the tradespeople in the area, where you get a chance, if you're going to have some work done, to make your choices based on what you see in the ads of the Valley Breeze. News, great ads from local people and local businesses, and of course, free where you shop every single Thursday.
All right, Dave, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue. We ask you to please don't go anywhere.
I love our Rhode Island shoreline, but our location makes us vulnerable to hurricanes and tropical storms. It's important to be prepared as best we can before the storm hits. You can help by knowing your risks, getting flood insurance, and being familiar with your evacuation route. Let's all do our part to be hurricane strong. The steps we take today can help minimize damage tomorrow. Learn more at riema.ri.gov.
Brought to you by Governor Dan McKee and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at Woonsocketradio.com.
You can depend on us for public service, ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee In on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here. Dave Richard right over there. Richard
I
Lane
am
is
over
with us
here.
as well. We want to get Richard's opinion on this one because
Yes.
you're going to think this is a
Oh,
great
boy.
idea.
You know, I'm in trouble. I can tell
No,
right
no,
now.
no. You're going to like this one. This happened in Detroit, Michigan. And the Detroit judge is facing criticism for how he disciplined a teenager who fell asleep in his courtrum during a field trip.
Yes, I know about that.
Now, if any of you have ever been into a courtroom, I mean, the judge rules the roost.
Oh, yeah.
You do whatever the judge says, whether you're on
Exactly.
trial or not. If you're in the
Right.
gallery, you still do what the judge says. So anyway, Judge Kenneth King reportedly ordered the 16-year-old to change into jail clothes, the nice orange jumpsuit, and had her handcuffed. He then threatened the teen with jail time, even asking her peers if he should send her to a juvenile detention facility. Well, this didn't go over too well with the girl's mother. Her mother told a TV station that the incident has left her daughter traumatized and said she was tired because she doesn't currently have her own bed to sleep in. So there's issues at the home there. The judge defended his action, saying it's his, quote, own version of scared straight. You okay with what the judge did, Rich? She fell asleep in
You
his
want to know what?
courtroom.
And I'm I'm a pretty conservative person.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not okay with that.
No?
You know,
Okay.
no. I mean, to me, he just should have taken the whole group and said, you know something, because she's disrespecting my courtroom.
All
This is
together?
all done. Let her deal with her own peers afterwards. You know,
Right.
I used
right,
to.
that's the way to
Well,
do
I'll
it.
tell you what. I can give you a personal story on
Yeah.
something like this too, because when I first started in the Department of Corrections, I was in charge of a Scared Straight program.
Yeah.
And I won't say the prison I was at or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I was in charge of that program, and there was a gentleman out of one of our inmates out of South Boston, an Irish kid who was in his mid-20s and was doing 25 years for drugs and the like not, and we had one of those Scare Straight programs come in.
And he wanted to be
and
part.
the 25-year-old was he was one of the inmates
One of
that
the
was given the
inmates that-
program
to the kids,
you know,
okay.
and so I had to vet all these guys to make sure they wouldn't
right.
go. And a rather large human being, this inmate, but pretty stable. Until the 16-year-old who was at the Scared Straight program that they decided he'd get cocky with him.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, and here I am. I didn't have much more at that time than like 7 or 8 months into the department. And I don't know who was shaking more, the 16-year-old or me
you?
at that point. Because I'll tell you, that inmate was not happy. And I had to get in between, and it was not pretty.
Did the inmate
was
put his
not pretty.
hands on the 16-year-old?
No, once I got in between,
Yeah.
but
De-escalated.
and he was, he apologized to me afterwards.
But
the
isn't that the
inmate,
point of
but,
the
yeah.
program? To get in
Yeah.
their face and
Well,
make,
yeah,
and
to
make
get
them
in their
shake.
face, but he wasn't just, he was not
He wasn't kidding.
acting at that point.
All right.
The
all
kid
right.
insulted him, and
Yeah.
he
You
wanted,
got it? You wanted
yeah,
something
yeah,
at
yeah,
him?
yeah. And so it was very soon after that I said, no, this session's done. Bye.
Okay. Do you agree with Rich, Dave, on what the judge should not have done, what the judge had done, and just done something different?
That's not a yes or no, agree or disagree.
I'm asking if you agree with Rich. Not anyway.
I look at it a little bit differently, in as much as what Rich suggested might have been done wouldn't have been on my menu. I would have looked at the youngster and said, why are you falling asleep? Are you getting enough sleep at home? If you're not, why don't you go out in the hall and take a snooze, and we'll continue here. So I think I'd have been a bit more inquisitive and gentler with the kid. So I suppose in a way you can say that I disagree with the judge and what he did.
Okay.
But I don't know what kind of lip the kid gave him when he tried to wake her up.
Doesn't say.
Well, yeah,
No,
but
yeah.
the article I read on it was that the judge was not happy with the way that the kid responded. So
Could have
Dave,
given,
you
could have
got
given some lip.
Yeah, so maybe
so that's- in
that case-
maybe she kind of ticked him off.
Yeah.
Went just above that line that you shouldn't go above.
Okay.
and-
Yeah.
Put, See how you like it.
But I still
Put
think
her
I
in
would have
cuffs
asked,
first.
why are you sleeping now?
Yeah.
Do you not get enough sleep at home? If not, why not? I want to know these things right now. Answer. And if they still gave you lip after that, then I would have, I would. You know this because you lived that life. When you're in a position of authority where you're constantly or likely to be challenged on a regular basis, you can't allow it to go as far as you would if you were in a different setting.
No, correct.
You have to show the line clearly on the floor early on. And so there's no coddling when it comes to that. No, this is it. Fine. Thank you. Bye.
Yep.
It's one of those things, because if you don't, things get bad really fast.
That's correct.
So you
All
have
right.
to be, and if you're a corrections official inside a prison, you know, somebody can make a comment to something like that, and you might let the first one go by, but the second one you can't because
can't.
it's going somewhere, right?
Yeah, you usually just give them that little look, you know, as if to say, don't. And they recognize the look.
Yeah.
It's like it's the don't say it again or don't do it again look. Like, okay, man,
Right.
I don't want to do the paperwork, so don't do it again.
Right.
So
But if you do it again, I'll do the
we'll
paperwork.
see you later. I ain't putting up with this.
I wonder
anymore.
how embarrassed the teacher was that set up the field trip. And does the judge come back and say, I'm not doing this again with your classes anymore because
Yeah,
of what happened?
you know, and you got to take, you know, you don't know the judge's personality from the
No, I
past.
don't,
All that,
no.
you know, so, you know, sometimes I take a story like that and you look at it with a grain of salt and say, you know, there's got to be a little bit more to it in this
Mm-hmm.
judge's background and the whole bit, you know. Liberal, conservative, what is he? How is he on other, you know?
Other issues
Yeah.
like that? So, all right. Well, that's what he did in Michigan. And said,
But that's what I would have done. I would have just thrown out the entire class. I ain't got time for this.
well, yeah.
You know,
He
see you
didn't,
later.
He didn't send her to detention or detention facility or anything like that. And I guess they didn't fine her or anything like that. But we'll see if the mom does anything else like, I'm going to sue.
Yeah, that'll be
kinda,
next.
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing. So, the house in the classic horror movie Poltergeist, the original house, is up for sale. It's in Simi Valley, California. They're asking $1.2 million. Did you see the
What
movie?
are the comps like?
The comps?
Yeah, comparable sales in the neighborhood.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably in Simi Valley. I'm sure it's about the same.
Because that's what I have to
yeah.
wonder, because in California, you've got to go somewhere to get a house for less than 7 figures.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's
The,
just the majority of houses, especially in any of the built-up areas, you know, with its population and amenities and stuff like that. The majority of houses, the average cost is so close to $1 million.
Yeah. Well, they might have trouble selling it only because if you know the movie, you know the premise is basically that the house is haunted,
Right.
and so people might not want to buy it. Although the original owners say, "We promise you." Did you see the movie, by the way?
No, I
Dave,
didn't.
did you see the movie?
no.
No, I heard about
Okay.
it. It was in all the
Well,
papers.
if you haven't seen it, the reason the house is haunted is because it's supposedly built on an Indian burial ground, and so they're upset that there's a house on the burial ground, and that's why it's haunted.
Okay.
So the original owners promise it was not built on a cemetery, and it is not haunted. So the crazy things you saw in the movie will not happen in the house.
Ah.
So please come and buy it.
I'm really not a.
Horror movie fan?
No, I'm not a horror movie fan, but actually, I mean, there are people out there that believe in that stuff. I just happen not to believe in it. Yeah, I don't think. You know.
It's an entertainment.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it too. You know, I'll sleep.
Just like gambling, I don't like to yuck somebody else's yum.
I
If you
would
like
love
it,
anybody
fine.
out there that's listening. If you know of somebody that's offering like $1 million, if I'd sleep in a place overnight or for a week or anything like that, I'm your guy.
You'll do it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Buy my new truck with the money. You know.
Mm.
All right, this doesn't affect Dave and I because we're not coffee drinkers. But pumpkin spice early arrival ushers in the unofficial start of the fall season. You can pick up your pumpkin spice coffees now. It starts earlier this year as a Halloween push known as Summerween. Ushers in pumpkin spice season for many retailers. According to Yahoo Finance, the global pumpkin spice market, valued at $1.1 billion in 2023, is on pace to soar to $2.4 billion in 2031. More people are drinking this stuff. The pumpkin spice craze, well, they spice up everything else with pumpkin too. The pumpkin spice craze was born 21 years ago when Starbucks debuted its pumpkin spice latte. The dates of the season change every year, but products have been available for several weeks at grocery stores. And I asked my daughter, who works at a Dunkin' Donuts, is the pumpkin spice lattes out yet? Not yet, but probably in a week. She said, yeah, they told us it's coming.
Now, when they do that pumpkin spice, they do like the squirt stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like the squirt stuff into the coffee and then
Well, it's all chemicals anyway. It's not really pumpkin.
Well, no, but the thing is, I remember I used to get hazelnut. I loved hazelnut coffee with the beans.
Mm-hmm.
But then they went over, like, they'd give you a regular coffee and then they'd put, like those squirt bottles they have for snow cones. They
It's an additive.
pump a couple of...
It's probably that's how they do it.
And it made your coffee almost taste like you, I don't know, it was like almost like a shot of whiskey or something. You could actually, it was like, forget it. Go back to regular coffee.
All right, that'll do.
I mean, it's obviously it's something like the Hallmark Channel where we're going to have pumpkin spice in May.
We just have it year round.
That's right, because that's the only way we can increase. The only way we can increase our profits is to have people drinking it more months of the year. So just like the Hallmark Channel, hey, people love our Christmas shows. Let's show them in July. Mm-hmm. Well, you know something? Let's show them in June. It's a preview for the Christmas in July. And Christmas in July was a laugh, but people are taking it seriously now.
Yeah. All right, we gotta end the program right here. We're a little over time, but that's the way it goes. Thanks to Meg Rigo, who joined us, talking about Levitt Amp tonight at 6 o'clock.
Bears.
Oh, my. Richard Lane, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, Cajun Fest, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Magnolia starts. Come with an appetite and a thirst and your dancing shoes.
Very good. Dave Richards, thanks for sticking around.
You betcha. And by the way, those of you who have been listening to Paul LaValle with his messages, the seminarian dinner is at St. Joseph's tomorrow night, too. You might want to keep that in mind. I just want to make sure that Paul gets a little love.
All right. Thanks, Dave. I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Back again here on Monday. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do your remembers at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
A great white shark